Mark Anthony Gonzales just so happens to be a student at the House of Jiu-Jitsu downtown. He was on his way to training when he spotted that officer in trouble. You can see the officer trying to put cuffs on the suspect, 44-year-old Jack Evans Jr., when suddenly Evans grabs the officer's gun. There's a struggle, but Gonzales, staying calm and using his Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu training, helps the officer pry the gun from Evans so they can continue to get his arms behind his back and place him in handcuffs.
It allowed us to successfully do so. A successful arrest, no injuries, not to the officer, and God forbid, it didn't even happen to the suspect.
His wife Rachel recording this cell phone video. Here's the part of the video where Gonzales successfully gets Evans to put his left arm behind his back, really incorporating the techniques he learned through his jiu-jitsu training with underhooks, body weight, and control, prying that arm out off the ground and into the cuffs.
Anybody in my academy or anywhere around the world, I'm pretty sure they would have saw the situation unfold, and given their experience as well, they would have known that, hey, this officer's in need of serious help right now.
Well, here's the mugshot of 44-year-old Jack Evans Jr., now charged with unlawful use of a vehicle, evading arrest, felon in possession of a firearm, and attempting to take a weapon from a police officer.
People that are getting evicted, I don't want them to have the misunderstanding that we're the bad guys, because we are here to enforce what the laws are.
Tonight we are hearing from local law enforcement about the role they're playing as the eviction moratorium comes to an end. The law now says tenants can be evicted for failing to pay rent.
News 4 San Antonio's Jim Lefko rode along with the constable's office today to show you how the eviction process works.
This is a rarity, an apartment left in almost immaculate condition. All the previous tenants left behind: frozen food and some condiments.
As Sergeant Jaime Perales walked to the front door of this Northside apartment, he didn't know what to expect.
Some people get upset, they destroy property inside here, they put holes in the wall, they leave all their trash, and they actually did a pretty decent job in clearing out here.
The tenant being evicted from this unit had already cleared out.
It's not too bad, I've seen a lot worse.
A bit of drug residue was all that was left behind.
It's very rare. Majority of the times they're hoarders.
That's what Chris Ramos has observed. He's a supervisor at the complex where the eviction, or writ of possession, took place. He also changed the lock on the door.
This one, it's in pristine shape. It's looking good.
With the moratorium now lifted, constables expect a surge of evictions to happen in coming days.
We've been doing maybe anywhere from 6 to 10 a week, and I'm sure that's going to double, if not triple.
Precinct 2 Constable Leticia Vasquez is looking to add 7 additional officers in the fall to help with the crush.
I'm sure we're going to get double the paperwork, now that the CDC has been lifted.
Several rental assistance options are available at the constable's offices. Their goal is not to have to evict anyone. Unfortunately, this is the stack of evictions Sergeant Perales is working through right now.
Yeah, we have feelings also. We don't like seeing families getting thrown out.
I cannot go to the emergency room.
A fear many of you have as the number of COVID cases keeps rising. For Sonia Mata, going to the hospital means risking her life.
My immune system is so low.
The 52-year-old mother and wife has lupus. She had a flare-up at the beginning of August, causing her to lose her vision in her right eye.
That was exactly the time they were saying the hospitals were full with people with COVID.
Sonia was scared. Her doctor, Robin Bry, a neurologist at University Health, was also concerned.
We were just panicked because we knew what she needed, but we didn't have any options.
Then University Health started its hospital at home program. Dr. Bry immediately thought of Sonia.
It was a prayer answered.
This is Sonia, sitting in the comfort of her own living room as nurses check on her twice a day for 4 days, giving her treatments and meals she needed as if she was at a hospital.
The healing process was, I guess, a lot quicker, better, because I was at the comfort of my home. Plus, I was able to be with my family. And that was the best thing. I was able to be with my family.
Peace of mind, not only for patients, but doctors too.
It's lessened my anxiety about our ability to really give patients the care they need. It's a creative option.
Since the start of this program in mid-July, 17 patients have been cared for in the comfort of their very own home, meaning 45 bed days have been freed up thanks to Hospital at Home. Now, University Health says this is a new and creative program that they want to keep around even after the pandemic.
The wheels on the bus may go round and round, but San Antonio school districts are having a hard time finding enough people to drive school buses.
Really, since the height of COVID, we've not stopped recruiting.
That's the not-so-secret strategy at San Antonio ISD, which conducted a bus driver job fair at a Northside apartment complex today. It was their second this week.
We're always hiring.
Because it can take a couple of months to get a commercial driver's license, it's mandatory for districts to work ahead. COVID has added another layer of complexity.
I think a lot of drivers are afraid with COVID going on, and of course you're around small children.
SAISD actually has a slight surplus of drivers right now, making it the rare exception. It's a different situation at New Braunfels ISD, which is looking to hire drivers. It's the same situation at Bernie, which added 1,000 students this year, but has just 50 bus drivers.
If we could have, 12 to 15, even more of those drivers, that would be fantastic.
Bernie's had to scramble to find people to shuttle students to and from school.
We've got our director of transportation who's driving. We have a lot of substitutes that are driving right now, and we're going to have some of our coaches drive as well.
They've also sent out emails to parents warning about full buses. But it's not nearly as dire as the situation in Chicago, where districts without enough drivers are paying parents $1,000 if they'll drive their own kids to school.
That's why you've got to be recruiting year-round.